We're live. All right, good afternoon. My name is Don DeRosa, and I'm here today with my partner in crime, Mr. Tycoon. This is our second podcast here, I guess. I'm going to try to do this on the fly here. So I'm going to be my own production assistant.
Right. Well, again, it's yours truly, Mr. Tycoon. And if we have any technical difficulties,
It's my fault.
Please overlook them and point your finger at Don. But we want to give you a good show. But the main thing is that we're going to give you some jewels and some experience that we've had over the last 50 years between the both of us, because both of us have been in the business over 2 decades. And one of the reasons for this show, which is entitled "The Odd Couples of Real Estate." Some of y'all may know the show. Some of y'all may be too young to know the show. But one of the things is that Don is very high tech and I'm high touch. We have different approaches. I'm big on wholesaling. He's big on fix and flip. And so what we like to do is give you the best of standpoint, mindset standpoint, from what our whys were. So without further ado, we'd like to jump into this show. As Don said, this is our second episode. And one of the things is we want to tell you to do this. As if you're thinking about real estate investing, the number one thing is we are both coaches. What I like to say coming into this business, because we're going to jump right into this, is that you got to have a mindset of being coachable. And Don, what would you take from that, as far as being coachable? Both of us came through the Learning Around the Grant by way of card and sheet. I think everybody bought a card and sheet program who watched TV back then, because we wanted that dream. Yeah. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, we didn't have anything different back then.
Right. It wasn't. We didn't have IG and YouTube.
Yeah, we didn't have the internet back then. It wasn't until Al Gore invented that, right?
Right.
So you didn't really. I hate to say you didn't know better, but you didn't know any better. So you trusted the people that were on the circuit.
Right.
So we learned from some of the best, though, I will say.
Right. And again, as you say, it's almost like when we was growing up, there was several different fast food chains, McDonald's being one of them. But now there's a burger spot on every corner, and and I hate to kind of use that analogy when it comes to educators out there now, or as we know, there's always been snake oil salesmen. And so we're not here to take shots at anybody, but we have known this personally. Guys learn the business. They do one deal and they're a guru.
Yeah.
They're teaching. So that's one of the challenges of today's time. But it is a free, it's almost like it's the wild, wild west of real estate investing. Everybody's a guru now. And so the first thing is you got to be coachable. But again, as Don said, you got to use wisdom, because it's so many people out here selling stuff. And that's one of the reasons for this show right here, is to give you an opportunity to get to know us, to get to hear what we have to share, and give you a little insight, because we both have paid programs, but this program is being sponsored by the Odd Couples of Real Estate. So we're putting this on so we don't owe anybody, and we just want to share this information. It's something that we've been wanting to do for probably about 5 years. We said we're gonna do it now. We're gonna start. And we'll get this ship steady as we go along. So we MacGyvering it right now.
Well, I need to add, we're live on YouTube.
Right.
And we're jumping in with both feet.
Right.
So we're not trying to do a podcast and then we're going to do it all.
We're going to give it to you cut and raw.
Because I think if I've done this correctly, if you're on YouTube right now, you send and I come here.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know how many people we're actually going to be watching at this point. But.
Right. We're live on YouTube. So first of all, what we got to say, I see all the YouTubers, they always say this, please subscribe. because how the algorithm works. We want this information to go out to everybody. So please subscribe and stay tuned to the end where we will have, don't know what it is yet, but a special gift for you.
I was going to say, we should give something away.
Right.
No, we should.
Right.
I don't know what that will be, but I just thought about that. But everybody gives stuff away. Right?
Yeah. So is it going to be a script or is it going to be a call with us, a 10-minute power call with us?
Whatever.
Okay. We'll think about that over the next 25 minutes because we're already 7 minutes in. And seeing like my volume went down a little bit.
I did. I put it down. It was spiking a little bit.
Okay. So, as I said, today's topic is the mindset of successful real estate investors. And both of us are successful. For those who don't know, go check us out. Go look up Don DeRosa. So, new site. What you let them know about the new site? Before we even get started, the new site.
New site is expertrealestatecoaching.com. So it's free. You can go there. You can go ask any questions. We got a lot of stuff out there. It's brand new, so we're moving a lot of the educational stuff from various places over to there. So we're constantly building.
All right.
So I set a goal for myself, and so far, knock on wood, I have succeeded so far, and we are how many days into the year?
31. Can you believe this month? This is the last day of the month.
Wow. And so far I've done, I believe, 31 articles. And my goal for 2022 is to write one article a day.
Hey, that's a tall order.
It is a tall order.
That's 300. But see, this is the beautiful thing about it, Dom. With all those years of experience, we got so much content and information in us that it's not like we had to go do no research because we are the real deal.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little easier. Plus, so much ready. You got that you can put back over there.
Well, I got to tell you, moving that stuff over, I realized when I was doing it that I had, I do a Wednesday session for our property protege group.
Right.
Every Wednesday.
Right.
And I do it, I don't want to say 52 weeks out of the year because I don't. We miss Christmas, Thanksgiving, maybe one or two other Wednesdays throughout the year. So I do 49, let's say, sessions that I record, and they're about 3 hours a piece. And I've been doing it for years. So there's literally thousands of hours of education just off the cuff.
That you can pull out 10 minutes and there's an article.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that over time.
Right.
So that'll allow us to do that.
Right. So that's who you're listening to right now, watching right now, since you're live on. And we will be turning this into a podcast. Again, it will be on Anchor and all your different platforms, and it is entitled now, The Odd Couple of Real Estate, because as you can see, because you're watching this, there is an ebony and an ivory. And again, even our personality, I drive the S550. And what's your truck, Don?
I drive a GMC Sierra.
Yeah, he's always at Home Depot, and I'm always at home. But we're gonna jump on into this. And again, as we both have said, or my number one thing is that you got to be coachable. That is the mindset of a successful real estate investor. Is because, again, none of us was born learning real estate. You shared last week about your father owning rental homes, but it wasn't him that got you involved in it. It was some other underlying factors. But what would you say, number one, and this is not in any order, but I would like to say education, and that's one of the number one errors that most people make coming to this business. They don't want to get educated. They think, well, I got a bachelor or a doctorate, and we both talked about this kind of briefly, that we have doctors and attorneys that we teach this business to, even though they may have a PhD or the master's, but they come into the masters of the real estate game to learn this business. And
so what's the question? What do you want me to?
The mindset of a successful real estate investor.
Well, honestly, I think it goes back to what I said last week. You have to have a strong enough why to get into this business.
Right.
So your why has to be good. It has to be in place to get your mind, to steal your saying.
My thunder.
To your right, get your mind right. And it starts with the proper mindset. And when you become a real estate investor, so often we listen to, we go to these events. I mean, because there are real estate college, like you can get a degree in real estate, but it's not like creative real estate
Right,
like
right.
we
That's
did.
theory, and that's going to do your license and all that. And
So we go, everybody that learns this bit, not everybody, but the majority of the people that learn this business, we learn it in a non-traditional manner.
right.
We go to books and tapes and seminars and,
You're telling your
internet.
age tapes. No.
Yeah,
Video.
I know. Well, now I had a friend that he always laughs at me like, dude, you're dating yourself.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But when you get in this business, if your why is right, you'll continue because you're going to want to learn how to do this business. And the age-old thing they tell you is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Right.
I learned that many years, and I'm going through that with my son right now. For years I have 3 boys, and for years none of them showed an interest. And then, every so often, when they get fed up with the traditional work-life balance type thing, they go, Dad, there might be something to that whole real estate because, you wake up when you want, you go to work when you want, you take off when you want.
You're giving us a good life.
Yeah, it's...
You drive what you want. You go out and boat when you want.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a boat. Yes, he has a boat.
So, yeah, this business can give you all of that.
Right.
But again, it's like anything. It's like any other business, though. There has to be a purpose. You have to want that. So the biggest mindset biggest thing from a personal standpoint for someone else is, you've got to get your mind right, and that means, okay, why am I here?
Yeah.
Is it because of money? If it's because of money, I'm going to tell you guys that'll help, and that kind of gets everybody a little motivated.
Excited, right.
But it's not going to keep you.
It's not going to sustain you.
It's not going to keep
right,
you here.
Right.
So there has to be a why. Like for me, mine was, we talked about the last show. I don't even think we posted the last show yet.
Right.
But the last show we talked about, why are you in this business? What's your why? And we each had our 4.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, mine was family, and then freedom, and generational wealth was my 3rd one, and then money was my 4th.
Right.
Because I know, and we had this discussion, that money makes the world go round, and they say money can't make you happy. Yeah, bullshit.
Right.
It may not make you happy, but it sure
It makes it a little more smooth.
makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
So anybody tells you that,
They either don't have any or they're trying to sell you something.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I don't know. For me, I tell all my students, get yourself, the other thing that helps, honestly, is having goals and having
Right.
an objective set up.
Right.
Because that'll help someone that may not, like, think about it when you went to school or if you went to college and you go, coming out of high school, you're like, I don't know what I want to do. They're wanting me to pick a major. I have no idea.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing here. You may think you want to do this, and that's fine, but setting yourself a goal and chipping away at it will help that, because this can be a difficult business if you're not careful.
Right.
You got to stay focused.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, with the odd couple of real estate, I'm gonna keep it more structured. Don gives you the bigger picture and what he's really saying. And again, I'm not paraphrasing, but being one who used to put programs together, what you're saying is you got to have a target. You got to have a mindset of a target.
Absolutely.
You got to have a mindset of a target or a goal in place, or you're just going aimlessly through life. So, as I said, my number one, so we're going to say Don's was, you got to have a target, and AKA a why. And because, again, I want to get these done and give you some jewels to take away, because you got to be clear about why you're doing the business, as he said. And I want you to be clear about, and even to what portion of the business you want to do, but also you got to realize that there's somebody who can teach you out there in an unconventional manner, whether that's a mentor in the neighborhood, one-on-one, somebody online, or at one of your REIA groups. But I want to move on to 2, and one thing the mindset of a successful real estate investor is that you got to have I can do this attitude, because you're going to run into bumps and bruises. You're going to run into things not going the way you want them to go. And that's what really makes this business exciting, is when you have the ability to figure it out. But you came in with the mindset, I can do this. I can do this, and I'm going to figure it out, and I will figure it out. So that's my number 2, down the mindset of a successful real estate investor, because that's something that had to be built up in me that, I'm going to make this happen. So Don, come on, come on. We need a 2. We don't need a broad stroke. We need a clear stroke because we gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4 and be out of here in 30 minutes.
The biggest thing to be successful in this business, I don't really have a list.
Right.
You gotta have your mind right. Then you have to get good education. I tell you, the first thing you need is the ability to take action.
Okay.
If you don't have that, get a different business. Number 2, you have to have the ability to stay focused, because in this business, there's a million ways to make $1 million. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you try to if you don't know what you don't know yet, and you try to do a whole bunch of stuff, you will become a dog chasing 6 rabbits. And if you've ever seen a dog trying to chase down 6 rabbits, at the end of the day, he's exhausted and hasn't caught a thing because he gets distracted too easy, chasing that shiny penny. Then the third reason is, you've got to education and then put a system in place. That's your recipe right there for success. At least my recipe.
Right.
Take action, have the ability to take action, stay focused on your goals. Number 2, get some good, solid education. And number 3, put a system in place that will allow you to grow and scale your business.
All right. You heard it here first on the Odd Couples of Real Estate. And I'm going to piggyback on that. And one thing he said was a system and also that take action. So mine was mindset of a successful real estate investor. You got to have that stick and stay mentality. And what I mean, and that's the thing where he said, get focused. And I even like when you said, what I'll use, I'll give you the first time when you said, there's a million ways to make $1 million. There's new construction, there's rehabbing, there's wholesaling, there's short sale, there's pre-foreclosure, there's tax lien. So many ways of making money in real estate, but you got to master one first.
Yep. Because
the marketing is different for all of them. There are different windows. But again, it requires a mindset of stick and stay to one thing. And when he said the shiny object syndrome, you're on YouTube and somebody talk about, oh, you can make millions of dollars with Airbnb. Oh, you can make millions of dollars with event space. Oh, you can make millions of dollars with tax liens. And you keep going to all these courses, but you never take the shot.
Well, I mean, think about this. I mean, and I hate to say I fall into this trap because, we all TikTok, Facebook.
How's your first one? Before we move on, I know last week you did your very first TikTok post. How is that going?
I've done, I think, 7 so far.
Okay.
And at first it's just like anything else. I was a little scared. I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
Because I haven't done one, and you know how much I'm on social media. I used to be.
Well, my phone's over there, so I can't tell you my results. But
right.
I think
but you started.
My first one, I've got 7 of them up there. I think 7 TikToks.
Right.
So if you want to follow me, I don't even know how to get you there. I think it's.
He don't even know his handle.
I think my handle is at Don DeRosa. I think. I'm just out there having fun, making a mess.
Listen. As I tell people, every master was once a mess. Because, again, that's how we learn how to walk. I mean, we didn't start off running. We crawled first. Then we stumbled. Then we started taking a couple of steps. Being an adult is the only place that you're not allowed to crawl and stumble.
Well, I started to say, even I, the master of focus, said, you know what? I'd like to gain an influence on YouTube. So I'm out there putting stuff, and I find myself focusing on trying to get subscribers, and I'm like telling to myself, dude, what are you doing?
Go get a deal.
Yeah, go find a deal. But it's just different. It's fun, and a lot of people now. I mean, think about TikTok and all these influencers that are out there right now. Do you realize, if you really sit and think about it, do you realize that is just high sophisticated panhandling?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's people who don't want to go get a job and decide to stand behind a camera, and half of these people on TikTok or social media it's just entertaining.
Right. And it's rewarding for them because, and again, now I'm going a little deeper right here, you all. I like to say, Don, and this is where we can't get caught up in it, is they're so unhappy with their life. That's why it's called reality TV.
Yeah.
Virtual reality. See, on IG, you can be who you appear to be. And what I mean by that, this is my take on it, where you can't get caught up in it. Like we say, we're concerned with the views or the likes. I say, no, I'd rather have the loot than the likes. But it's natural for you to post something. It's just the humanistic of it, because I think at the base of all of us, we want to feel appreciated. So if you're taking the time to put up a video, you want to at least know people appreciate it enough to like it or post a comment. And this is the funny thing about it, Donna. Sometimes I'm out of the country or I'm traveling and people say, oh, I follow you on IG. I'm like, I can go because we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
When the fuck you going to say something to me? I mean, why are you standing behind the curtain and won't even say I like it or great job, Mr. Tycoon. I'm in a restaurant, people coming to me. So how's the little king doing? I saw y'all on vacation. Where's Queen Janice? And they're in the restaurant, they sitting there, they're like, oh, we follow y'all online. Like, I don't know who you are. You ain't never said one thing to me in 4 years you've been following me.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of this new technology, is that you don't get caught up in the drug of it. Don, we live great lives. We travel when we want to, as I was saying, the boats, the houses, the cars, the freedom that we had. That you were just talking about cutting a check for your son to be in college, and took some Sarah out and bought some new Nike Tech stuff and some shoes. And I said, why don't you wear it on Friday? He's like, no, I'm giving it to him today, Monday. He got it yesterday. He's like, I'm wearing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're in a position that we can do that where it's not a struggle. But the thing is, we got to give them the skill and also realize our value, because the value is shifting, as you say, with these influencers. It looks a lot more rewarding, and not to bring no damper, because my wife just sent me the thing, 2019 Miss USA.
I saw that. She died at 30 years old.
Committed suicide.
Is that what? I didn't see why.
Off the 30th floor of her building. She lived on the 9th floor. She went up to the 30th floor. We don't know why yet. But my point is this. Everything that you see online is not as beautiful as you think it is.
Oh,
and again, not so much you, but I'm just saying this younger generation, and even when it comes to real estate investing, don't think that we don't have challenges. We just don't have the challenge about paying our bills. You know, whether the light's going to be on, whether we're going to eat, can we put gas in the car, can we buy a car? But we have other challenges.
You know, it's
but
funny.
That's what most people are dealing with.
It's funny that you say that, because I've noticed, and I know the answer to this.
Okay.
You and I have talked about this. I know the answer, but do people really fall for the guy holding, $100 bills?
You too can be a real estate investor, back with Carlton Sheet on the boat.
And laying across the Mercedes or laying across the Lamborghini. And I see this stuff on Facebook, and I go,
Poorly. Naive. That gullible. Okay, Don, let's look at it. The guy who is in his 50s like us, and they show the guy with a Corvette, and they show the beautiful girl. Commercials have always done this. Subliminally, they're saying, if you get this Corvette, you'll get that.
I guess. If
you drink this kind of Scotch wine, you'll be like 007. If you wear this suit or if you wear this watch, but even from a biblical principle, he said there will always be snake oil salesmen. People have always wanted to just take a pill and fix everything. Or if I just buy this, if we put a pill, I promise you, now we're not going to do it. Not because
the red and the blue pill.
Yeah. If we put a pill in a bottle and say this will make you a real estate investor,
someone would buy it.
Somebody will buy it.
Yeah, you're right.
So
with that, my advice though is, that does get the energy up. That does get motivation. That does make you take the first step, which is action.
Right.
That does make you take that step. So there's a certain amount, even myself, when I stand up in front of a room, I find myself, you're much better at it than I am. Like, you're very motivational, where I'm much more educational, meaning not that you don't educate, but my focus is teaching.
Right.
So I naturally have a mindset that if I teach you well, you're going to go subscribe or buy or
That would be the logic.
exactly.
That's our logic, but that's not how humans operate.
But that's not how it works. So over the years, I have learned a little bit to throw emotion in there, but I still can't be that guy that holds $100 of bills. And
Well, I can, and that's why the Odd Couple of Real Estate is coming to your city soon to teach you real estate investing, because you got to have that bit of motivational factor. And what I like to tell individuals is that I didn't want to just be a motivational speaker. I wanted to be able to give them a method. And the thing is, Don, and we both know that, even though as we conclude this show, so real quick, just a review for the mindset. Mindset of successful real estate investor. You got to have I can do it mentality. As Don said, you got to have education. You got to have a system. You got to have a take action mentality. And I said you got to have stick to itness, but also mission minded. You got to be mission minded. What's the mission, and stay on that mission, which he said you got to be able to stay focused, and you got to constantly be learning and leaping. And what I mean by that, once you learn something, you got to leap at it. Most people can buy, but the thing is, can they take the action after they bought the product? Everybody got gym equipment.
well, that goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes to these events that we do, or goes online, or
Right.
goes to YouTube, or wherever they go to get the education, they have the ability to take action. Where most people falter is the next step, which is the ability to stay focused on something long enough.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, if you want to be a millionaire, who should you hang around? Millionaires. If you want to be a real estate investor, who should you hang around? Other real estate investors.
Right.
And not just people who want to be real estate investors, but
those
people
who do.
are successful.
Right.
Okay? So you need to be able to differentiate the two. There are people up there in front of rooms right now to this very day. In fact, I've seen them throughout. I've been in this business 25 years. And I watched a guy, when I first started 25 years ago, I watched him do one deal. Now he made he made six figures off of that one deal. A week later, he's up on stage teaching people how to do that one technique he did. And he barely could spell real estate.
Right.
And still doing that to this day. Now, I'm sure he's much better at it.
We will hope.
Yeah. But just be careful with that. That's all I'm saying is,
Right.
Make sure that you have somebody that knows what they're doing. And as much as I love YouTube, I mean, YouTube is my go-to how-to
Right.
place.
It is a lot of great information out
It's
there.
tremendous information. But be careful when you go there to get financial or real estate advice, because you cannot learn this business even if it's mine or yours, you cannot learn this business segment.
Thank you.
You can't. So you have to have systems with it. And learning from 12 different people, although you will learn the business, those 12 people may not mesh together, meaning, your style may be different than my style. So
Even the principles of what they're teaching.
Exactly. So I'm not suggesting going one way or the other, but just be consistent with it.
Right. And I am. It's like going to college, Don. I totally agree with you. And sometimes we don't want to be harsh, and sometimes I've been so harsh. Get it. You don't mix recipes. You're either going to follow Betty Crocker.
I like that recipe.
Yeah. You're either going to follow Betty Crocker or this other chef over here. And that's the thing. Stick to one thing and then take the results from that and say, okay, either this worked or it didn't work. I like to say the proof is in the pudding. Not the pudding you eat, Bill Cosby, but putting it to the test and seeing the result of it. Listen, we're at our 30-minute mark, and one thing that we said we're going to always do is value your time and our time. And this is why we're going to have so many episodes, because as Don just said, over 25 years, myself over 25 years, over 50 years, plus all the education that we'll take. We got a whole lot of information we want to share with you all. So from the Odd Couples of Real Estate, this is episode number 2. And on the keys over there, making sure the cameras are working. 'Cause we got all our cameras in here, things of that nature. We're having a good time. We just really want to share with you what we've learned over the years when it comes to real estate investing. And being two teachers, we love teaching. I love motivating, as Don said, and inspiring and getting you hyped up. But we're just not here about the hype. Because if you don't have the education, you could be going 20 east here in Atlanta, trying to get to Alabama in a Ferrari with all the Red Bulls, and you going 20 east, you will not get to Alabama.
Any faster.
any faster. You're going
Well,
in the
you're going
wrong
east. You're
direction.
going the wrong
You're
direction.
going the wrong direction, but you're hype. You're Red Bulled up, and you're in that Ferrari. You got your American Express black car, so gas is not an issue. You won't get there because you didn't get the proper direction. So that's what we're here for you. We're here for you on this wide range of, as we said, as I was saying, you know, it's almost like the wild, wild west of education. We just want to show you the real way. You know, there's a lot of teachers out there who teach, and they don't have your best interests in mind. We're not here to name names or point fingers. We're just here to say our intent is to inspire, to educate you, and help to elevate you to the next level. So this is yours truly, Mr. Tycoon, here with my, as he said, my partner in crime, and our crime is to have a breakthrough. We want to break into your mind and show you the right way to do this business, Mr. Don DeRosa. Until next time, as always, remember, in order to get your money right, you got to get your mind right. And here again is another episode from the Odd Couple of Real Estate. Don DeRosa and your truly,
So
Mr.
wait,
Tycoon.
before you leave,
Go
tell
ahead.
them your website.
Oh, and you can follow me on IG at I am Mr. Tycoon. My website is MrTycoon.com. Or if you can handle it, go to IreallyDoThisShit.com because I really do it. And yes, that is a real viable website. And I'll be giving you my YouTube because I'm gonna change the name over so we can log some of this stuff up there. And yours, Don DeRosa, again.
Well, if you want information, obviously you can go to donderosa.com. That'll give you a whole bunch of stuff. That's kind of my link tree. But if you're interested in learning real estate, you can go to Expert Real Estate Coaching. That's a general, anyone off the street can do that. We also do some group coaching at PPG. That's PPG, the letter P, the letter P, the letter G, ppgcoaching.com. So you can kind of see it on the back of my screen here. So check us out. And by the way, if you're on Facebook, or we're on YouTube, that's right. If you're on YouTube and you think of a name you want to encourage us to call the show, by all means, post it. Got any questions? You want some? We're always looking for ideas.
Stop trying to say this your question so we can have a great show of answering the questions that you want.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Topics. So, all right. Well, until next time, this is Don DeRosa saying thank you very much.
I